Radio, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. On UPRN Talk Radio FM 107.7 in New Orleans and FM 105.3 in Mississippi.
If it's unexplainable, we're talking about it.
Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, we cover everything where the unknown becomes the known. And now, here are your hosts, Jenny Nicasio and Tom Callway.
Welcome to Chasing Prophecy on FM 107.7 in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. I'm Jenny Nicasio, along with my co-host, Tom. That was Tom Callway. Sorry.
It's all good.
You know why? I was thinking about my son. That's stupid. Anyways, good evening and welcome to Chasing Prophecy. I'm so glad to have you here this evening. Welcome aboard from all over the USA and beyond on multiple platforms, including Roku. How are you doing tonight, Tom?
I'm doing very well. Fun week. Good discussion. Good lively internet, good data, good videos to share with everybody this week. I'm kind of we had a guest for everyone today. Unfortunately, they're not on, but it's wonderful because there was a lot of interesting stuff in the news that we wanted to discuss and talk about, and what better place to do that than here Tuesdays from 7 to 8 p.m.
One of the best things in the world is, well, I'm excited because I just have to show my new tape, my sweatshirt. Trump 24 and Hunter Biden was guilty on 3. Was it all counts 3? Whatever he did. But that's politics, and we usually don't like to talk about. But I have a big mouth, and I like to talk about it. So, anyways.
One more reason to watch the show as well is to see the wonderful attire of Jenny Nicasio every week, from hats to glasses to sweatshirts. She's an equal opportunity fashionista.
And if you'd like me to advertise your garments, I would be wearing your makeup or glasses or hair care stuff. I'm more than welcome to show it off on the air live.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. From restaurants to beauty products, she does it all, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the news, a lot of stuff going on in the paranormal news. And one thing I like to talk about real quick with you, Tom, and I know we've talked about it before with Tucker Carlson. He did a interview, a couple of different ones. There was one with Joe Rogan. There was one with Alex Jones. There was one with, what's that guy? The guy from the Disclosure. I think it was Grimes. I'm not sure. But he is bringing some really scary stuff to light that I am not liking at all. And we talked about it. Hi, Cindy. How are you? These UAPs and UFOs and all these people seeing these sightings of aliens and what they think are creatures. And Tucker brought up something that was really scary. He said that he can't even discuss it with his wife because it's so scary. And we're coming to the conclusion there was a bishop. I'm not sure if it was Nicole that brought up, there's a bishop on TikTok that these things are not alien. They're not from outer space. They're demonic, actually.
Yes.
And so we're going to be up against demonic forces. And to me, that's really scary, because if that's the case, then we're closer to the apocalypse and we're closer to what John said in Revelation. And it's really scary stuff. I mean, I don't know what you think about it, but it's scary to me.
No, it is very scary because for the longest time, this topic was sort of benign. It was, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like aliens, UFOs, there wasn't really too much overlap with religion, spirituality, and things like that. But it certainly has taken that shift and kind of the heat got turned up, right? I mean, over the last year, and you know, his words exactly were, "I'm satisfied," and I quote, "I'm satisfied that I know enough. I don't really want to know much more. I've
Yeah,
stopped being curious about this because I don't want to know anymore."
because
Uh,
it's terrifying if you think
yes,
about it.
it
I mean,
is.
it's terrifying, and it goes back to all the people that we've discussed on over the years. I mean, the last 4 years I've been on the show,
Yeah.
and a lot of the abductees and people talk about the same experience with the alien creature or shadow person standing at the foot of the bed. Now, I talked about this on TikTok on my live last. Well, I did it. I'll tell you this experience. Oh, you guys will all like this. Get good.
Ooh.
It's Saturday night. My son has one of those ninjas. Okay, you know the sparkling water one. Well, there was one. There was a pot in it, and I thought because I can't see, I have to wear
Mhm.
glasses. I'm like this at night, and
I
I'm
got contacts.
it,
I know what you mean.
well, it said I thought it said Synergy, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Well, it
Mhm.
said energy. He wrote on it to warn me it was an energy pod. So I had two big 12-ounce energy drinks with 400 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Ooh. And for everybody, that's about like 6 cups of coffee, 8 cups of coffee in one shot.
And this was like 10 o'clock at night. So I was up pretty much till what, 3 in the morning. I decided I was riding my bicycle. I have a bike down, like an exercise bike, and I rode it for 45 minutes. So I thought I'd put on TikTok live, and I started talking to people. Well, I didn't get off until like 2:30 in the morning. And we were talking everything, but everything beyond the scope of normal, paranormal, demonic stuff, aliens, cryptics, Mothman, Dogman. We were talking about the Jersey Devil. And we got onto this topic of sleep paralysis.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we did 3 shows on, that's how people want to hear about it. We did 3 shows on sleep paralysis. And we had Dr. Brian Sharpless on twice, and he's a psychologist, and he tries to debunk it, saying there's something more in your brain,
Mm.
to
Yeah.
causes this, and especially when you start to fall asleep, you go into REM. But going back to the aliens, everybody who has these sleep paralysis are seeing the identical creature at the foot of the bed, and it looks like a
Mhm.
gray. Now, to
Yep.
me, the grays are very demonic looking. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says. They look demonic.
Yep.
So if everybody's having these weird things while they're sleeping, but they're in sleep paralysis and can't move, that just goes to show you what these creatures can do to control your mind. You can't move. Now, if you're what scares me is if these are demonic forces, these alien beings are demonic, what are they going to do when we're awake? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly
If
what you're
it,
saying, and I am a sufferer from, sleep
oh,
paralysis. I've
isn't
I've
it
mentioned that
scary as
before.
hell? Do you see that? Do you
I
see
do. I
the,
do.
the thing at the foot of your bed?
I do. Sometimes, and then other times I will feel, if, like, somebody sits on the edge of your bed, you'll feel
You
the
feel
indent go down.
yes,
I'll
yes.
feel
There's
that.
somebody's in there, and
Yes.
they don't seem like they're very like
No, because I always
happy-go-lucky.
feel like I'm going to die. I feel
Yes, you
like
feel
I'm
like you're
going
gonna
to die.
die.
Now, there's nothing that gives me the proof of that. I'm not bleeding. I'm not, in terrible pain. I'm not doing
No,
any of
you're
that. But
just
it always is an internal feeling that I have that I'm going to die or pass away if I don't keep fighting. And
yeah, and
that's
you're
the best way
trying
I
to
can describe
scream,
it.
and
I'm
you
trying to
can't. Nothing
scream
comes out.
and nothing comes out. I had one time of like a moan that like something
Yeah,
like
I
that
had.
that I could
Yeah,
get out. But
That's it.
it was halfway between, like, a moan and, like, if you get the wind knocked out of you. It wasn't,
Yeah,
like, definitely not audible. But then I'm fighting with all of my life to open my eyes. And when I talk about paralysis, it's not a numb feeling, it's not it's just
you
the
can't
absence.
move.
You don't have it's like you don't have the muscle to move your
Control of your
eyelid.
body.
Yes. So, when you're trying to open your eyes. It's not like if you pinched your eyes shut and open, it's not opening. It's not like that. It's almost like the function isn't there. Somebody snipped the cord between your muscle and your eye, basically.
See, that's now I can see, but I can't. I just feel like I can look around, but I cannot move. And that just makes me
No.
think of all the people, the abduction stories about how people said they can't move, but the only thing they can move is their eyesight. So
I've had those ones, and I had those ones, and I've seen the thing at the end of the bed, and I've seen the,
mhm.
and I've never told anybody that I've with, and I've always breathed heavy so my husband could hear me and waking me up. That's wonderful, Cindy. That I love that, but I don't think I've ever had this when somebody else was awake. I think I was always the last one into bed. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So I
Mhm.
didn't have somebody that could wake me up. But that's awesome that you have that. But um one thing you mentioned is and Jenny, I don't know if this happened to you, but breathing, like you have to focus on actually breathing. Stuff we take for granted. You know what I mean? Like if I asked you how many times did you breathe today, you're going to forget because you're doing it subconsciously. But
Yeah.
one thing is like you have to breathe like you know what I mean, to keep trying to fight. At least I do. From that impending death. And then when you wake up, it's like, oh, everything's fine, nothing's there, everything is quiet.
Yeah.
But if
It's
you notice, like everything's disheveled. So if I was paralyzed and I could not move and this, that, and the other thing, well then why is the blankets all on the floor or over here or the pillows tossed across the room? You know what I mean? That
yeah. Yeah. And did you ever have the feeling where you're up in the air and you're looking like you're hovering above the room? It seems like everything looks far, like you're being lifted up.
so
I
I
don't know.
haven't had that one, but here's one
That's
that I did
creepy.
have in a house that I swear was haunted, and it was the craziest thing that I've ever experienced. So real quick, when we would shut the door to the bedroom, would come an audible knock that would open the door, and I could never explain it. It wasn't, it was always winter, summer, all of that. Luckily, I've only spent like 10 months in that house because I got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore and I left. But with, that at that place, I did open my eyes one time and it was horrifying because my head and neck were in the pillow and I guess the upper part of my
Oh my
shoulders,
God.
but the rest of my body was straight up in the air. Like think about
Oh,
like your head's like at
yeah.
a 90-degree angle and
You being
everything else is
struck.
up.
Yeah, that is.
I still remember that to this day,
How old
and
were
I've
you?
tried to block that out so many times, but I could not move, from that. I didn't see anything holding me, but I saw, rigid, like my body stiff, straight up in the air like that. So instead of looking down, like looking up, which was
How
horrifying,
how
and
how old were you? Because
27,
something.
28.
I see you weren't like, you weren't like a young, like,
Mm-mm. No, I really haven't really told people that. I've been around and done many podcasts and different things like that. I completely forgot about that until just before we started talking about this and sleep paralysis. I completely forgot. I've failed to mention that in so many different shows. I'll tell everyone here, literally when you go to bed tonight, and everybody listening out there, when you go to bed tonight and you put your head on the pillow, imagine that's the only thing touching the bed, and from like your chest is going up. You know what I mean? Or if you try to bend your head
That
90
is
degrees down,
weird.
it was odd. It was seeing all of it, in the air. Really weird stuff. I always had a bad vibe about that place. It was a big house that was converted into apartments in Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, if anybody knows where that is,
Maybe
but it's
it's
a suburb
haunted or
right
something.
outside of Philadelphia.
Was it haunted? Did they have
See, I
any
didn't
kind?
have there was no overt signs. There wasn't the voices, there wasn't the moving of furniture, there wasn't moving of things on tables, there wasn't any of that sort of thing. But what it
No.
did have consistently was when we would shut that door, bang, and it would open. Shut it again, bang, and it
No,
would open.
that's definitely haunted.
Yeah,
There's a
and
haunting in there, some sort.
but, absolutely, I believe that, but other than, like, the things you see on TV, didn't have that sort of stuff. It was always that, plus the feeling, I'm being watched, I'm being looked at, something is looking
Oh
at
yeah,
me.
definitely. There's some kind of entity there. How long were you there for?
It was only 10 months.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Very scary stuff. But
Yeah.
we're going to move on a little bit, Tom.
Sure.
We're going to talk about. I came across a old archive of Art Bell, and
Mm-hmm.
he's the god of all
Yeah.
paranormal. He started it after X-Files, I think, or maybe during X-Files. He passed away, I think, in 2018. He started at the Coast to Coast, and he's so much better than George Norrie. I'll say that. But I came across. I don't like George. Sorry. I just don't think he's that good. But anyways, I came across this podcast of his on Jonathan Reed. Now, Jonathan Reed believes that he had an encounter in 1999. I was going to play a little bit of his podcast, his interview. If I can't, I'm not really sure where it starts, but I'll give you a little introduction. He believes he captured an alien in 1999. And he believes what happened was he was out and I guess camping, and his dog got a hold of something. And well, he can't even explain what he found. The dog was disintegrated, he vaporized before his eyes. Yeah. Completely, just like sort of like the Wizard of Oz, where the witch just went, "I'm melting," mm-hmm. But it was worse than that. Okay, but let me see if I can pull up. I don't know if you can hear this. Tell me if you can hear this. Let me see. Probably not. We can't. It's not playing for some reason. Wonder why it's not playing. Can you
go ahead and hit play now?
For some reason, it's not like. Why is it not playing? I'm hitting play. I'm sharing the screen. It's not coming on here. It's coming on my phone. Wow. Let me see if I can bring it on my phone. Wait. Oh, you won't be able to hear it.
Oh, you have it on your phone. It says playing on iPhone. Click over. Do you see in the bottom right corner?
On my phone?
No. On this screen.
Okay. On the right?
Yep. Go ahead and hit
right
play
here?
now. Yep.
Right here?
Hit play.
It's not playing.
Okay, hit dismiss. Playing on web player now. Turn it up.
Oh, it started from the beginning. Wow, that's great. I can't believe it did that. How many tips talks? It started from the beginning on the. Damn, now I can't shut it off.
Click on transcript and go down and read where you need to get to that part.
I can't even turn it off. Okay, where's the transcripts?
It says description, then transcript.
How can you see that? Because I don't see it. Down here you somewhere? Don't? No, I don't see it. How can you see it?
Look on your screen. You don't see that?
I'm looking on. I don't see description. No.
Do you go all the way to the top and it has a big green play button?
I don't see it. You mean up here? This?
Yeah.
That's the play button, but that doesn't have the description next to it. It just it doesn't have the transcripts.
Okay.
Oh, well. That's a shame. I had it already. For some reason, it wouldn't play.
But what was he talking about in that part anyway?
He was trying to describe what he saw and how he went back. He took the creature. He said it was very small. It's like 3 feet. He took the creature. He's never seen anything like it. It was translucent. You know, just like you see on these movies and X-Files with the big eyes. And he took it back to his place, and he had one of the big refrigerators. and he stuck it in there. And apparently, the men in black, like you hear, he didn't know they came, and they took the alien, and they just shoveled everything. They went through
Okay.
ransacked the whole place, took things that he was working on, and the men in suits took it. But I wanted you to hear it in his own words. Maybe I'll try to get the transcript and find exactly where it is on here. I had it. It was all set. I had it until my phone just I didn't know they were connected. Your PC that you never use.
Yeah.
Except for your show would pick it up on my phone, and it lost the place.
That is odd.
It went right back to the beginning. It was 2 hours and 50 minutes.
And do you know roughly where in the show it, how long
it was like it was like probably an hour into, well, he did a lot of talk about other stuff. So I'd say about 45 minutes into the show. But I can't talk and do that myself, go through it. And I could probably, but I can't hear. I won't be able to hear, right? It'll come on. It'll start playing. See, I won't hear the sound unless I'm hooked up to. It seems like when I play it on my computer, it picks up, my phone starts to play. It's weird. I don't know why it does that. Well, anyways.
Can you hear that?
What?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that, but I don't want to do it while people are listening.
Okay.
I have to, what do you call it? Stop screen sharing. Because you would just hear would be going through that.
But so, no, it's also on Listen FM, and please go ahead and listen to it anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because it is wonderful. For anybody watching, I have a clip here, and it was an 8-minute video, but I just cut it into clips about and if I blew it up any bigger than this, it would get all distorted. So sorry for the small frame size. But this, right now it looks like a rolled hoagie from, a sub shop. It's in foil. It looks like belted 3 times, one around the waist. When he unwraps this intergalactic burrito, you see a body inside of it. And then you see, what do you think that is, like blood or whatever their version of blood is on, right by the head. But one thing look at its eyes. I see the eyes open.
I can't see anything.
You can't see the eyes there?
No.
So it has a head. It looks like it's wearing, I guess that would be like a black shirt.
Okay, I see a black shirt, but I see it at that little head. I don't see no eyes or nothing.
Okay.
I wish we could make it bigger.
It has like, I don't think I can make it any
bigger. Is he
bigger.
laying on his stomach or is he laying on it?
He's laying on his back, and you'll see that towards the end. They do a close-up of the head, and they get like really still. And then there's like,
okay.
You see the mouth, and there's the eyes.
Okay, I see the little slits.
Yeah. So, and then the blood, I guess, next to his head there. But let me go back.
Where was this?
And I want to show you this part. I wish I could make it bigger. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, it is creepy because it's definitely humanoid. But look at look right here. Look at this. You'll see right here. Look, it's. I swear the eyes are opening and closing. See there?
Okay.
See that eye opening and shutting right there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's the other side. And then the mouth.
And where was this found?
This was filmed in his house. In his house, in his basement, after he purportedly shot and killed this. And this is the only evidence that he has, because those men in black, there's the blood out of the head right there.
And it looks like black blood. And it reminds me of
It does look like black blood, doesn't it?
In my story of my creatures, they have black blood.
And, one thing that I wanted to mention to you is there are certain laws that govern the afterlife and here. And if we were to believe them to be demonic and things like that, I would say it's probably reasonable that they would have to live, if they're going to come here, they have to live under certain laws that govern our realm.
Yeah.
So maybe they can't die. Maybe they can't die, but they can be injured. They could be shot. They could know pain because that's what it is to come onto this planet. When you hear about exorcisms and things like that, you hear demonic wails and things. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
they are on this plane of existence, right? So they have to be hurt by, you know, chants or songs or hymns or prayers, because that's their, weakness. So when they took over, who's to say they haven't? All right, let me propose this theory. Humans can get possessed by demonic entities if they're doing
Yeah.
wrong things or they're leading a bad life and their energy matches, and they can become susceptible
Hmm.
to uh being taken over or possessed. Well, if these things, who's to say these things can't either? You know what I mean? So why would they waste their time? Why would a certain demonic force waste their time with humans who obviously were not as technologically advanced as what these are? They overtook them, they possessed them, and now they're trying to start an interstellar holy war with people here. I totally think that's true.
Oh,
I, to-
definitely. They're starting
I totally think that the
a holy
Greys are
war.
the worker bees. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They're the worker bees of some colony. I probably don't believe. I'll probably venture to say that I don't believe they're their own civilization. I think they're just clones or
They're like, they're
robots.
like,
They're
yeah,
tools of another civilization.
they're like the little minions that they do the
Yeah,
bidding of the higher
I
up, right?
agree. I
Demonic
completely
force,
agree
which
that
is Satan. Hi, Julie.
yes, and whether they were created by Satan or someone else. You know what I mean? I do believe that they aren't the end all be all type of thing. Hey Julie, how you doing? Good evening to you as well. So, um, in light of that, I want one thing that you mentioned and about this story and things like that is that this all started, about his poor dog, right? You know what I mean? Everybody would be mad if an alien killed their dog or a demonic entity or anything like that. He just happened to have a weapon at the time to do it. There's a couple. You're welcome. There's a couple stories out there of individuals who weren't able to get revenge on their on ETs, and one of them is this story that I found. Now this is over 10 years ago in 2014 and this is Waterton, South Dakota, and this is a man who ran up on a UFO as well and also had his animal killed. So on February 28th, 2014, this individual who is named Roger Marsh, he said, "Me and my friend saw this strange ghost-like thing." Now, keep in mind, he said ghost-like, not UFO-like. This
Mhm.
ghost-like thing engulfed one of my friend's dogs because it ran up barking at it. The witness, with obvious alien-induced grammatical paralysis, reported to MUFON. The witness said the light surrounded the dog. The dog collapsed and died right there on the spot.
Yeah.
A Waterton Police Department spokesperson said they had no knowledge of the alleged incident, and the Examiner article was authored by a UFO writer and noted that very few cases of UFOs depict either animal or human death. So, according to MUFON, though, so they're telling you to look away. This isn't really, but according to MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, South Dakota currently rated this UFO as a 5 out of 5 report and sent
Mm.
2 investigators there and to take a look at it. And the Waterton mayor, Steve Thorson, he said, "I'm not worried about alien invasions, but I feel bad for the people that lost their pet." In very
Oh,
and coincidentally, by saying that, he acknowledged that the dog did die from something. So he inadvertently spilled the beans about that. And when he was contacted it said when he was contacted for a later quote, he's not saying anything. So we have more reports of individuals losing their pets, and it's a shame. It's a shame that
Well,
these guys lost their pets all because the dog was protective of his owner.
So the whatever it was, they killed.
Well, this is from the light. This I don't know what the Art Bell one. It said it was vaporized. So I don't know.
Vaporized.
So does that mean a gun?
I don't know. They just said whatever it was, it vaporized it, and it just totally destroyed the animal. And it made when a horrible screeching sound too when Jonathan hit him. He hit the bean with a stick or a club outside, and the thing, he killed it basically, but it made this horrible scream. He's never heard anything like it ever in his entire life.
Well, things that scream in pain are often warning signs to others to come help, right? If you hurt a dog, it yipes, and that's for the pack to come help it out, right? So I wonder if there were any, to let off a scream like that, I wonder if there were any other UFO or alien entities in the area that it was trying to signal, or had they left him, or was he on his own? Really interesting to think about. But this one was the light of the UFO. So this wasn't
so the light the light killed him.
So the light, So it says the light engulfed his friend's dog because it ran up barking at it. So the light completely surrounded the dog, and when it completely surrounded it, it collapsed and was dead. So no dying, no nothing. It just was dead.
Wow.
Which I don't know any light to do that from anything on this planet. But many people think that there's a certain level of radioactive material in these things, and that can certainly, do that in a record amount of time as well.
Yeah.
So
that's scary shit.
Very scary. And yes, we are saddened to the people who have lost their animals. Very scary, very sad.
We like our animals.
We definitely do. So what do you say we take a break, Jenny, and we come back and talk about these northern lights?
Sounds good.
All right.
Samantha survives a tragic accident thanks to Lucian, an enigmatic being. Her newfound abilities catch the attention of a secretive government agency. Drawn to Lucian despite the danger, Samantha is unaware of his true identity. She teams up with Lucian's brothers in a daring mission to rescue him. Accused unfairly, Lucian seeks refuge on his distant homeworld. Can Samantha prove Lucian's innocence and save their forbidden love? From the Sky by J.E. Nicasio. Available now. Get your copy on Amazon and BNN.
Over the centuries, occurrences from the enigmatic realm have become less, enigmatic. So if conversations about the supernatural, myths and legends, mind-bending conspiracies, and haunting stories of ghosts are things you take seriously, we have the podcast that you can call home. Chasing Prophecy. Just because something is unexplained doesn't make it any less real. We're more than just a podcast. We're a community for those who dare to look beyond the scope of normal. For those who are aware of the abstract and interact with a show that speaks to them. Broadcasting from Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, the show stands out as the city's premier paranormal radio program, airing every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Come and hang with host Jenny Nicasio and Tom Conway on Chasing Prophecy.
Meet Daniel Knight, a psychologist with an extraordinary gift to absorb and heal the deepest wounds of the mind. In the heart of a chilling investigation, every secret unraveled binds him closer to darkness. But as he delves into the psyche of a killer, his own demons emerge. Caught in a battle within and against an evil that seeks to exploit his powers, where the line between savior and victim blurs. Dare to heal the wounds of the mind.
Welcome
Healer,
to the
read it
extraordinary
today.
world of the Chasing Prophecy radio show, where we delve into the mysteries of the universe and the depths of the human mind. Our listeners are a unique blend of curious minds and adventurous spirits, always eager to learn, explore, and discover. They're not just listeners, they're a community. And what better way to reach this vibrant, engaged audience than by advertising with us? When you advertise on Chasing Prophecy, you're not just buying airtime. You're becoming a part of a conversation, a part of our family. We offer a variety of advertising packages tailored to fit your needs and budget. And with our dedicated team, we'll ensure your message resonates with our listeners. So why wait? Grab this opportunity to amplify your brand with Chasing Prophecy Radio Show. Let's embark on this journey together. Chasing Prophecy Radio Show, where your brand meets our community. Fill out our advertising form on our website, www.chasingprophecyradio.net, to get started. That's www.chasingprophecyradio.net to get started.
All right, back. And we also have a TikTok video about the Northern Lights. And this is something. Did you hear about HARP? Did you know about HARP before any of this? You did? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that their testing coincides with the unprecedented Northern Lights that happened just a few weeks ago. So I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to talk about or read a little snippet here from this article that talks about what HARP is supposed to do, and we'll see that they don't really match up.
Out the same night everyone was seeing these Northern Lights, HARP was conducting a test. And keep this in mind, HARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And the word auroral just means related to the astronomical phenomenon of auroras, otherwise known as the Northern Lights. Now, their official reason for the test was to study the mechanisms of detecting orbiting space debris, so helping satellites avoid running into space junk. But I thought HARP was about studying the ionosphere, right? Well, that's what their website says. And how far up is the ionosphere? About 50 to 400 miles up. And how far up is all that space debris? About 1,200 miles. Don't worry, the math totally checks out. And lately, there have been some wild theories about whether these Northern Lights were natural or man-made. So my first question was, is it even possible for this HARP machine to cause artificial Northern Lights? Well, yes, they can, and they have in the past. So now that we know that it is possible, was it a coincidence that we saw some of the most intense Northern Lights on the same night that HARP was conducting their test? And is it a coincidence that HARP's test was set to last for 3 days? And so was the solar storm? Is it a coincidence that lately on social media, if you mention 3 specific words together, you'll have your video taken down or you'll be censored? So, is it just another coincidence, or is it a conspiracy theory?
Interesting video. Interesting video there about that. Same 3 days, same color, but saying that they were doing different tests. What their official reason was, scientists will investigate the ionosphere mechanisms that cause optical emissions. They'll also try to understand whether certain plasma waves, gas so hot that electrons get knocked off atoms, amplify. Each day, air glow could be visible from 300 miles from the HARP facility in, I guess, Gakona, which lies 200 miles northeast of Anchorage. So, I found that article because they forgot to take that down. That article, that bit of that I just read for May 8th to the 10th was written on November 20th, 2023. You just saw in the article that man did that says they were testing for space junk. I didn't read one single thing in there that had space junk. They forgot to take that art down. And basically what their project was to colorize the sky by using plasma waves to see if they could generate that. So do I think there was a solar, or do I think that the Northern Lights did happen? I do believe that, but I think they were affected or amplified by the waves that they were producing, just to see if they can get a humanly visible image in the sky. That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like to me.
And you know what? A lot of people are saying that the sun does not look right, and it's like
I've
white
heard that
instead
too.
of like. And I looked at it today; it was white. Now, I remember looking at the sun, and it was always yellow or
It
orangish.
was always yellow.
It was never white, which is kind of freaky. And did you notice that the sun is hotter? I got burned this year so far. I'd never burn. And I'd say I was in, oh my God, last year I was probably outside every single beautiful day I could get. And I never used sunscreen. And this is the first year that I burnt. I mean, I actually peeled. I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Wow.
It's the
So
Mandela effect. Some
yeah,
hives.
it might be Hive. But I've noticed that too, and it's funny you say the Mandela effect because it was always yellow to me. It was always, you know,
It was never
white. I don't know
white.
where it came from. It never was white. I do believe I don't know if it's hotter or I don't know if there's something going on with the air. Um,
Maybe.
so with the air, I have a personal theory about Boeing and
Okay.
the makers of these jet engines, right? These jet engines that are no longer working. What do every major company have in common? They need and they want to make it, or they want to spend as little as possible and make as much as possible, right? So I
Mhm.
believe that what's something that you need to reduce cost on? Well, fuel. Fuel is something that all major airlines deal with. Um, I I have a sinking suspicion that, and I'm not going to get into the chemtrail argument, but I have a sinking suspicion that the positively charged ions that they're producing that help the engines and to help them use less fuel and go further. I
Mhm.
have a feeling that whatever they're pumping out up there is acting as very microscopic, mini, almost like magnifying glasses. You know what I mean? And the reason for that is you put some evidence into mind because of your burning. If the sun's the same, if the sun looks different but is hotter, something's interacting with your view. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So, does anybody realize? Did anybody catch the article that came
Right
out this
here,
week that
Jennifer.
that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, did anyone realize that they're trying to make a Category 6 because of these storms being so much more powerful? Nobody caught that. I found that on some kind of backlink page um, in a scientific journal that they want him to have Category 6 because the water is too hot. And how does the water get too hot? We all know that the air heats up quicker than water. Well, when you have a massive, there's much more. We all know much more water on this planet than land.
Mhm.
So if these mini magnifying glasses that are these ions produced by the wake of these jets, um, if they're heating up the water, you're going to get more powerful storms. So that's my theory. And that's where the evidence is taking me that if you have to raise the scale because storms are getting more powerful, how can you tell me something you didn't do something to cause that? Absolutely
Mhm.
true, I think. I've been talking about the
Okay.
higher intensity of the sun since 2020. I'm burning and I don't ever burn. Jen, yeah, same thing.
Yep.
Same thing. Uh, I don't know if you were just on, but Jenny said that just a few minutes ago that she never
Yep.
burns and was actually peeling. Hello, it's not even the summer yet. You still have
Yeah, I
11
know.
days or so before it's the summer.
Well, it's
If
going
you're
up to the
like that
90s
now,
next week. Oh God.
well, that's
Can
true.
you
Yeah, but
imagine?
if that's June, wait till August, Jenny. You're not going to be able to go outside.
I'm gonna have to just stay in the water.
Well,
Mm.
yeah. Um, I it just makes too much sense. You know what I mean? And if these things are causing these crashes, causing Ear- Earth to heat up more, um, you're going to have higher impact storms. What's going to happen to Miami? What's going to happen to Tampa? What's going to happen to New Orleans? God
They're
forbid
gonna
all of you
just
people out there, 107.7.
no.
Galveston, the Texas coast, the Mississippi coast, the Alabama coast, all of that stuff. Um, watch out, protect yourselves.
Yeah, most
We might be
definitely.
in for a bad one.
or this heat can it cause an earthquake, the heat? I don't know. I never really thought about that. I don't know. I'd have to go look it up.
Yeah. I mean, at some points, I guess it could cause cracking and fissure in the tectonic plates. You know what I mean? After so long.
Oh, I believe in that Sebastian. I believe in chemtrails, and in fact, I was just telling my daughter-in-law, like everybody yesterday, we had such a dreary day here, and everybody was so tired and just didn't feel like doing anything. Was kind of agitated, and
Wow.
there was a lot of chemtrails out there. How do you know they're not poisoning us?
Do you
I
think it does
believe
have
it.
an effect on human behavior?
Oh yeah. Oh, Dennis said it's all in the Bible. Yeah, it's all in the
Yeah,
Bible.
Dennis.
We were talking about earlier. I don't know if you chimed in. I don't know if you were here, but we were talking about how we believe that. Well, I believe. So does Tucker Carlson believe, and Joe Rogan believe, and Alex Jones believes that these aliens are demonic. And you know who else believes? We should probably get him back on the show because he has a whole book about it. John Ventry, and he totally believes it's all demonic. They're like evil.
Yeah.
They're it's Satan's pawns, they're little minions. And we think they're aliens, and they're not. We think they're UFOs, and they're not. They're just these little
No.
creatures.
Well, what do they always say in a battle, right? Like, think of chess. You said pawns. It reminded me of chess. In chess, the pawns go first.
Mm-hmm.
The pawns are only the first wave, which is kind of scary to think about, too. What's coming after that? Yeah, Sebastian, yes, chemtrails were in the Bible, too. You know what also was in the Bible? Stories of visitors in the sky.
From outer space, yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I
we
always
have to
think,
protect ourselves.
well, even going, if you're a Christian and he ascended into heaven, he ascended, he got, and then went to the
Yeah.
sky. So,
I mean, it could be one and the same. You know, it could
space arcs.
be one and the same.
I've never heard of space arcs. Have you?
No, space arcs. Now, if you're trying to make a analogy to Nibiru and the Anunnaki, you know, they had to wait till their planet got really close. Tucker Carlson's in the Bible too. All right, so
you never know. He might be.
You never know. He could be. Who knows? You know,
I like Tucker. He makes me laugh.
You look at Keanu Reeves and how he aged, and tell me he's not immortal. That man has not aged a day in his life. But no, we you know, the Anunnaki were supposedly this race of people that come and help. You know, and the space arcs that came from Nibiru were supposed to help have populated the Earth with a hybridization between Homo erectus and their DNA to make us. So that's one way to.
Well, you know, Nephilians, the fallen angels had relations with the humans, and that's what caused.
Everybody was tempted, weren't they, back in the day with us?
Well, you saw what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Come on.
Yeah, you know,
that's going to happen again.
Not every week do we bring up Sodom and Gomorrah.
No, we don't. We never brought up Sodom and Gomorrah.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not every week. It's not every week that we bring that up. It's crazy. You never know what you're going to get on Chasing Prophecy, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what you're going to get.
Did you play all your videos? Did I miss one?
I have a creepy one, but we got caught up in such good discussion. Tell me if you see. Yeah, we don't have to spend much time on it, but tell me if you see what's behind her.
This is your mother. Are you there?
She just does this, but look at that.
Coming home?
What?
See that?
I don't see anything.
Okay. Wait for it to change. Do you see right over her thumb up? There's a alien, big eye.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah, you never know. Could be.
So, she was saying she had some different things. Oh, Kandahar. Yes. Are you talking about giants? Because many people believe those were the offspring of the Nephilim and us created giants.
Yeah, I have that in my books too.
There was a story, and I don't know if you heard this, and I'm probably going to butcher it. I haven't read it in a long time, but there was a story. There was a story that there were U.S. Army, I believe it was Army troops, that entered Kandahar in the cave region, and in
Oh
their
yeah, I
cave
saw that TikTok. I saw that they
okay,
saw a giant. Yeah.
and they saw a giant. Was it living or dead? Do you remember?
I was living.
I thought it was living too. They saw it in there, and then there's even reports from distant sailors, and say what you want, they could have been crazy or anything like that, mad from the seas, but they've saw giants on the shores, you know what I mean, of South America before.
Hmm.
And some believe there was a extinction, basically, that they needed to get rid of them because people were afraid of them and things like that. But I do believe the Kandahar story, many of those weird stories have been originating out of the Middle East lately. Have you noticed that? There you go. Man seed.
I like that one.
Yeah, why not?
Swollen, engorged, and feeling. Oh, that's bad.
And pulsate.
Woo!
Whoa, man.
Well, you know what? This is a whole nother show. This you
It's a
have to
whole
come
nother
on late
show.
night with TikTok.
Wait for her next live at 2 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
Dennis, what is in Missouri? Xanadu?
Xanadu. Isn't that a song?
It's a movie, wasn't it?
Wasn't that with Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Pop culture reference there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, we touched on a lot of things today. I love it. I love all of that stuff. But to round things out, Jenny, why do you think Tucker has been making his rounds lately? Do you think because he's free from Fox?
He's been off Fox. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but there's usually a non-compete.
Oh no, it's been what, a year now? 2 years? What is it? How long has he been off
Yeah,
Fox?
but some non-competes can get up there.
I don't know. I think he's allowed to talk about anything. He's funny. He laughs and he makes me laugh.
You know, it's funny when you get him on an interview instead of interviewing, he's a much different person, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Like when he's being interviewed, he's like, I don't know, just a different person. He's more willing
He's
to
down to
go.
earth.
Yeah.
He talks about anything. He just talks. He's natural. He's Tucker's who you get. He's full of life. He's laughable. He laughs, and he tells it like it is. And he's like us. He talks about stuff that people don't want to hear.
Well, a lot of times it's not even his stories. He's getting people trust in him to tell their story. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There you go, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
That did happen.
Yes, exactly. He was canceled. You know who else exposed Obama was Joan Rivers. Did you hear the story of the conspiracy with her? Her daughter's coming out saying that she was going to expose something. Yeah, she talked about why she believes her mother went in for simple face, like a little tiny lift.
Yeah.
And she died from too much fentanyl, whatever they gave her. And she thinks that she was murdered. Yeah.
EOTheNephilim.com to the maidens and Jesus.
Well, if you want to read a really crazy book, it's my third book, Aurora's Curtain.
What is it?
And I go into this in depth. And it's a fiction. It's a fiction novel. But I'm not even going because I'll spoil the end, but it goes really into all this. And it's really bizarre. And I don't know where it came from. It just one night I totally changed the ending to the book. And spur of the moment. You should read it. It's really dark too. She was definitely murdered. Yes. And why was she murdered? Why was she murdered? Because she knew something really. Everybody knows about Mike. So I don't have to say anything else. The Obamas, you know who Mike is. Come on, you know who Mike is. And well.
Yeah. I mean, she certainly had connections. She was,
Yeah.
she was everywhere for a long time. For a long time.
Yeah. I liked her too. She was funny. But
She
she would
was
have been
fun.
canceled
She was another
anyways.
woman who, or another person, who didn't give a shit and would say whatever they want.
Mhm.
I appreciated that.
Roseanne Barr's like that too. And
Yeah.
actually Megyn Kelly's turning too. She was a real shithead. Now she's turning she's coming to the light. She's coming to the light. They're waking
Yeah.
up. They're all waking up. And you know what else? The Baldwin brother, Stephen Baldwin, I don't know if you saw him. He woke up. Kirk Russell, Goldie Hawn, Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg. These are all people who are woken up. And hopefully a lot of other celebrities. Yeah. Did you guys take ivermectin? Oh, I did. I said it. I did. I took hydrochloroquine and ivermectin and K2. I was oh yeah.
Were you also sharding all over the place like Manseed?
What did he say? Was I what? Sharding. What did he
there
say?
you go. There you
go.
What
does that mean? Sharding. What is sharting? I don't know. What is that? Is that
you don't know what shart means?
No.
When you fart and it's wet.
No, I did not. That's gross. No, I did not Manseed. No, but I did do all that. And I had COVID and it was not really bad. The only thing I knew I had COVID was when I was having a rum and Coke Zero on a Saturday night and I took a big gulp and I go, I didn't taste it. I was like, oh shit, I have COVID.
Maybe you just didn't put enough rum in there.
No. Q, was this? Roseanne is the only one still keeping the public awake with a Q. You mean Q? You mean Q-tard, like a Q-tard? But the people that think like John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive and he is Q. No, I don't know if that's what you meant. No, I'm not really sure I believe any of that.
Not sure.
Texas Roadhouse? What is this? What is this? Like a kicked out of Texas Roadhouse?
Because he leaked a little in his drawers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Too much information.
TMI on a Tuesday.
I would never get jabbed. I wasn't going to get jabbed. That's one thing I believed in, and I would not get jabbed. Nope. Did not. I know a lot of people did because of their work. I would not get jabbed. Jab. And you know what? A lot of people are and they're getting
a lot are coming up with
getting
I do.
A lot of people are getting sued. They're going to be suing. And Fauci, the little rat head.
Yeah.
He should be in prison. Can you locate me? What does that mean?
I don't know.
We'll pray for you, Mancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think that JF Kennedy Jr., the Q-tards. I was a follower of Q2 way back when I followed this one guy. I forget his name, David something on YouTube. I pulled in, I became part of the cult, and I got out of it quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people believe that 17, 17.
Yeah.
Q, and some people still believe that.
The word back in the day.
Oh yeah, I watched all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got banned from.
Holes.
Yeah, I was violated. What violated? I was.
You were violated.
I went against community
standards. Yeah.
On TikTok 4 times. One more time, I get kicked off. Oh, let's just talk about. We did talk about aliens, sweetheart. We did. We were coming to the end of the show.
But now we need to hop off.
We got to hop off.
We're 3 minutes late.
We're gonna get banned. We're gonna get banned. Yep. We're gonna get banned. Okay, well, let me put on the ending of the show. Well, thank you so much.
It was everybody.
A fun evening. Thanks for all joining us
talk.
In the comments, especially. What's the guy's name? Seed Man or whatever.
Nancy, yes.
It was fun. See you next week. Same time, same channel. We might do a late night TikTok on Saturday. I don't know.
Follow us on Facebook. Check us out.
I don't know. Bye-bye. Michelle's gonna kick us. Okay, bye-bye.